Hey guys, Rob from the Off Grid Tiny House. Here's the date, times, temps. Outdoor temp is disabled because I got to throw new batteries in, but 81.6 inside. We just got a ton of rain last night, and we've been in a drought situation for a while, so nothing's wet in here on the windows, which is good. Dark days here at the tiny house because I'm still waiting on solar panels. However, I was able to charge up my lithium iron phosphate batteries, which is a great thing. Let's take a walk, see how much water we caught. Apparently it rained for 3 hours straight, so I'm interested to see how much water we caught. Holy macaroni. Half my tote is full. And one thing I got to say about that is, ooh, no wet floor either, which is awesome. That is a ton of water in an overnight period. Oh, the wind turbine's going like crazy. Let's take a gander, see what it's doing. 13 volts. Oh, it was on. Oh yeah, I think I left it on to help top off my oh yeah, sweet. So the battery is charged, topped off nicely then, this guy, by the wind turbine. And it's trickle charge. When it hits 13 volts, it turns on its load center, and which just trickle charges the AquaCube internal battery. And this guy shuts off at like 12.5. So pretty cool. It's going to town. So the wind turbine's the only thing operational here at the Off Grid Tiny House. And I did order a new pump for the AquaCube for my showering because without it, I'm screwed. Now, guys, I got to tell you something. If it rains anymore, I'm kind of screwed, but not really. I need to bring back at least one or two of the lithium iron phosphate batteries in order to be able to pump this water up here. But obviously, you can see I still got plenty because I haven't been using it too much over here because I have no power because of the damn solar panel disaster. So, let's take a look to see how much water I actually caught. So give me a second, I'm going to turn the camera, or the light on my camera, and I'll be right back. Alrighty folks, let's see how much water we caught overnight. So, gallons are on the left, liters are on the right, and 125 gallons captured in one overnight period. Now, mind you, there was about, what, that much sitting in the bottom of the tank when the rain probably started. So let's say 100 gallons overnight in a 3-hour period. Pretty damn good, if you ask me, because knowing how much water I go through here tells you I can last quite a long time with my captured water. So the tape paid for itself easily in helping guide the water into my rain gutter system. Jackpot. And I did go up recently when I ripped the solar panels down to take a look at the tape, how it is handling the weather and the elements. So far so good. So hopefully it lasts a long time before I gotta buy more and redo that. Other than that, I haven't been to the Off Grid Tiny House in a very long time because normally how things work is when crap goes bad here, I literally have to just shut things down here, go back to work, slug it out, get enough money to fix the problem, and go from there. So, if you guys don't know, in order to fix the problem, by the way, I got some recommendations from some good friends. So we got High Tech Guy 18, my go-to Stu, the electrical engineer, and Graham, one of my Patreon members, who is also has his YouTube channel, Graham's Van Life, which I highly suggest everybody on my channel go over and subscribe to his channel, because he's an awesome dude and he's doing cool stuff with van life. In one of his recent videos, actually, I couldn't believe he could actually stand fully upright in the back of his van. It's one of these Sprinter commercial type work vans that he converted. Pretty sweet, guys. And he's far better off than me, because he's mobile with his tiny house, where I am kind of stuck as is. Ugh, my glasses didn't clean up very well. So that's what we're dealing with. And this LED light is blinding me on my camera. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off and be right back with you. How about that? And all of a sudden it looks like I'm green in here. Everything looks green. Weird. Oh, there, the color kind of came back now. Anyways, sand flies, if you guys don't know what they are coated on the back of my tiny house. So literally they land in the summertime when it's hot and just sit on structures and die. It's kind of what a life, right? So anyways, but getting back to what happened to the solar panels, if you missed anything, if you're not a subscriber and are new to the channel, I had 10 flat solar panels which had a aluminum base they were attached to dissipate heat and get rid of heat, which I thought was awesome because that's a great heat sink. However, apparently not. The solar panels lasted 3 years up here in Canada, and when we do get hot weather, we get hot weather. And kind of on an extended period of time, because most of the time it's cold here, right? So I noticed, guys, when ripping off, actually I noticed back there my original setup, which had 4 of the flat panels wired in parallel, which was my original setup. I had them feeding into that battery with the wind turbine and the whole 9 yards. The panels pooched, and I wondered why my battery was dying over there, and it did murder my battery. My battery is sitting somewhere, like back here somewhere, and it was kind of on its way out anyway, lifespan wise, because it's only a lead acid AGM deep cycle. It was beyond the I was getting close to the 5-year mark. So that sucks. And then I was like scratching my head, why am I not getting any solar back there? And then about 2 weeks later or so, back here on my main system, where I had 6 solar panels wired in series going into my MPPT charge controller, and that one back there was going into an MPPT charge controller as well. I never did wire it in series. I never got to it. And now nothing's back there. So anyways, when I had to go on the roof, remove these panels. Now I attached them to this roof is aluminum, and it was spray foamed internally here in the off-grid tiny house to help insulate and make structure more rigid and everything like that, and definitely did that. Now, when I removed these panels, I had them fastened on the back side with PL Premium, which is a construction adhesive, and I had the border taped with a tape product called Eternal Bond. Very good tape. Excellent for patching roofs or RVs or anything, guys. Highly recommend it. Highly expensive though. So how did I get it apart? A fillet knife. For filleting fish, cut right through it. Was perfect. cut through the construction adhesive, was good. Sliced right through that because fillet knives are sharp. I did, however, have to clean off the fillet knife after the whole job was done because some of the adhesive from the Eternal Bond tape would obviously stick to both sides of the knife. So I had to soak it in solvent multiple times, which I just used isopropyl alcohol, and kept picking my way away at it, and I got that finally cleaned after 8 times of doing that. Anyways, because I was only using like a 70% solution, so it wasn't high test, wasn't like 100 proof. So anyways, back to my good buddies, High Tech Guy 18 and Graham. And big shout out to Graham because he's a Patreon member. And Stu's kind of on the sidelines helping me out. He actually designed my solar system, and I go to him for basically all my advice because he's a brainiac. So, and then Graham, so they both recommended, between the two of them, they kind of did their little research and did their magic, and they recommended an LG brand, so it's actually a brand name solar panel that is it's called bifacial, and it's a newer generation solar panel. So what does that mean exactly? These solar panels are large. They are 340 watts, I believe, each. So they're going to be huge when I get them. I'm not entirely sure how big. They are not flat. They are traditional, thank God, because that was recommended. And how am I paying for these, you may ask, because my budget is so tight. Exactly. I have 12 traditional solar panels, brand new, still in the box, over here. And I have them up for sale online, and hopefully the buyer, hopefully I get a buyer, and I just flip 12 for 2 giant, awesome energy efficient ones. Now, what do I mean by energy efficient solar panels? It's a solar panel, right? Well, more efficient solar panel. It can these specific panels can capture 30% more light on cloudy days or crap weather days. Now, here in Canada, that's huge, huge, huge news. So that is a good thing. Now, these are going to be wired in series, and I'm going to mount them with a 1-inch gap underneath the aluminum frame, and I'm just going to use little L brackets and a lot of silicone, so they're waterproof, and it doubles as a nice extra adhesive around the screw as well to the roof. Now, bifacial. They are bifacial. What is that? That means they have 2 faces. You have your main face of the solar panel that you aim at the sun, like everybody knows, right? The black part towards the sun. And most traditional panels have, behind that, they have a white sheet. Well, these do not. And they're kind of the new trend going on. Light will pass through the top one way, and it allows the light to continue through the panel, down through the panel, and then whatever surface is behind the panel, that light will still travel and then reflect back up, bounce up back through the back side of the solar cells, and also get you power, which is kind of sweet, if you ask me. Now, why LG panels? Why these ones? Why did they recommend them? One, the 10 that I ripped down, the company, which must have been a fly-by-night Chinese company, was no longer on Amazon. Amazon had no record of me purchasing them, even though that's where I got them. And there was no contact information I can use through Amazon to get a warranty refund for. So, I still have the paperwork, actually, for this company. So I took the paperwork, I went on Google, looking for the company, non-existent, no webpage, no nothing. So defunct company, defunct warranty. I'm pooched. Okay? So screwed badly. That was the major disaster here at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Because with no power here, makes life pretty miserable, guys, if you ask me. Pretty tough. So, now back to the LG panels. The LGs, because LG is a brand name company, most of you probably heard of and known and probably own some of their product. I bought from them because chances are they're not going to go bankrupt within 25 years, right? Because that's what the warranties are for these panels. 10 for the frame, the aluminum frame, 25 for the cells. Not too shabby. So if anything happens to these new ones, I can go right to the company, say, hey guys, you shafted me, send me new ones. They will. And when they do send you new ones, chances are they're going to be better than the ones you just put up because technology advancing, so on and so forth. So that is where we're at. Now, the company I ordered from is I'm kind of supporting the Canadian companies. I ordered through a Canadian company out of Quebec, which actually, these panels back here were manufactured. A lot of solar panels in Canada are manufactured in Quebec. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with these solar panels other than the warranty's a big question mark. Whether these companies are still going to exist in 25 years if something goes wrong with your panels. And the warranty's a huge thing to consider, guys. Let's take it from me. I'm the human experiment on Off-Grid over here. On a budget, very tight budget. Buy brand name solar panels from a company that's been around for a long time and you expect to be around for at least 25 years. That way you can take a sigh of relief on warranty issues, okay? Just remember that. Don't get ripped off by nice deals on Chinese solar panels like I did. Not a good thing. Anyways, so a big shout out to High Tech Guy 18, Stu, and Graham and Graham's Van Life. Go to his channel, guys. Sub, and High Tech Guy. Sub to their channel. Give them a thumbs up. Tell them I sent you. They'll appreciate it. And so that's where I'm at. So the company is out of Quebec. I ordered from them. Free shipping. A little over $1,000, maybe $1,050 for the two. So two 340 watt bifacial LG neon solar cells is what I purchased. They're coming. If I can flip these 12 to pay for those, bonus. Now, you're going to say, Rob, why didn't you put these solar panels up back here? Well, I could have. I definitely could have. But then again, the warranty issue, guys. If something goes wrong with them, you're SOL, and that's a whole lot of work. Whole lot of work. Especially how I got to fasten them. In my situation. But that's okay. Now, if I do flip those, it covers the price of these new panels. So I'm okay there. And then in the future, hopefully, my Patreon page grows, and I get some more subscribers on there. And then I can go to town and slowly accumulate more panels. Now, for my MPPT charge controller, which is going to manhandle all of this electricity produced by these new LG panels, I believe Stu said I can install a maximum of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, my fingers don't work. 3. In series, that's the max that particular MPPT charge controller can take. Now, I recently just bought another lithium iron phosphate battery, 100 amp hour, 12 volt, and I had them parallel with my original one. Fantastic batteries, except when your solar panels pooch and don't put any power back into them, then there's an issue. So High-Tech Guy 18 luckily told me about a charger, which I needed anyway for these lithium iron phosphate batteries, because my backup propane generator does not have a 12 volt output. So in future, with this new, it's a C-Tech lithium iron phosphate charger, and it hooks up to 120 volts. You hook the clamps on the battery. You actually do that first. Battery clamps on, then plug it in. I can then hook that up to my generator, and it can trickle charge my batteries if need be from here on out, which is a bonus. So I needed it anyway. That was another $160 expense. Wonderful. So basically guys, my bank account's been taking a beating lately, and YouTube's really kicking my ass on not spreading my videos out there so I can actually make money to get this place in completion. So you guys wonder why it's taken me forever to build my tiny house? Well, I got a lot of crap to go up against, and it's not just affecting me, it's affecting a lot of people here up on YouTube, and it's pathetic. And then I actually have other channels like the Do It By Fraud World and his goons. This guy is the biggest off-grid fraudster on YouTube, I believe, and I called him out, God, a long time ago. I haven't subbed his channel for like over 3 years, something like that. And well, basically my setup was complete before his, and he started, I don't know, 5 years before I did, trying to get off the grid. Like, how does that even make sense? So yeah, the biggest fraudster. Now, even till this day, he literally sends his little cult members or trolls over to my channel to put in some nasty comments in some of my videos and try to thumb my videos down. Now, most of these accounts have 0 subs and 0 content, and it's either the dude himself, Troy, or just some of his goofy followers or cult members. Either way, it doesn't matter. He doesn't affect me whatsoever, because I've already beaten him a long time ago. Other than my recent disaster with solar panels, which is my fault entirely, because my buddy High-Tech Guy 18 Stu recommended some better, some known brand panels instead of the ones I picked out. But lesson learned, guys, and hopefully that lesson, it gets passed out to you guys that want to go off the grid or get into solar or homesteading or whatever. Do not buy flat solar panels ever. Ever. Buy traditional. Have a nice 1-inch gap underneath so the air can circulate and it can cool themselves off. And think about buying from a company that's going to be around for 25 years, so your warranty is intact. And as the years go by anyway, the solar panel prices are going to drop anyway. They're basically $100 for 100 watts. It's down to $1 a watt now, so it's not too bad. But when you're on a deep budget like me, that really hurts the wallet, I got to tell you. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm pretty much, that's it. I'm just waiting on the solar panels to show up. I was able to get the C-Tech charger. I used it in a couple videos back, if you've been following my channel. Used it, show you how to work them, everything like that. So I charged up my lithium iron phosphate batteries, so they're in happy mode. And like I said, it's just a waiting game. It's hot here. I'm working my bag off as much as possible during the pandemic and trying to make what little pennies I can to help ensure I keep going. Because if not a good thing. Not a good thing, guys. So anyways, that's a big update for you guys to swallow. Hopefully you liked the update and liked all the info I provided. If you did, hit the thumbs up button down below. Write a little comment, say hi. And if you're really feeling generous, though in the pandemic a lot of people are struggling like myself, and you know, if you are generous though and have a little bit of cash on the side, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's 3 cents a day or a $1 per month to join. And what do you get? You get all my videos basically live, updated, with no ads, no editing. I just throw them up in one big format file for my Patreon members. And then on Patreon you can chat to me on there, and you get credited in all my future videos as long as you stay a subscriber, which is cool. And you help ward off Troy and his goons with finances, because the more I grow, guys, the more I can help disprove and leave him in the dust, because he's living, he's basically defrauding people out of their money with his little show. And it is a show, because he's living on the grid in the city. He's never at his property, or if he is, he's there filming and making it a dumpstead. And that's just the way he rolls. He, you know, he lives in the lap of luxury on the grid, totally. He actually had enough money to buy a crap property in Detroit. And he didn't even live there in the wintertime. Him and his bride that he got online, mail order bride from the Philippines, he bought her and brought her over, and they had a kid, or Chris and her had a kid, and he's just playing that card as well. And they had their little sorry of a store shop close. And you know, it's sad, but when you sell crap, what do you think is going to happen? You get crap in return. And now he lives with her in the lap of luxury on grid in a nice apartment in Detroit somewhere. And he drives out to make videos at his property, which is basically a stage, because he's never there unless he's filming and messing it up. And never shows his off the grid power, never shows inside the house. It's a big scam, guys, and it's pretty sick. It's sad, because there's actual real off-grid people out there struggling their butt off to do it, and he's out here scamming everybody. So there you go. But hey, in the end, God's gonna judge you, buddy. There you go. Oh, phone, I'm out of here.